So all the speeches I've done throughout high school have been PowerPoint presentations. So I don't really have much experience with extemporaneous speeches or like remembered speeches. Um, Obviously, I do have impromptu speeches, like been asked questions in class, so I can speak on that versus like a quick written response, I guess, to compare them equally. But I've always preferred like reading or writing an essay, just because, for example, if it's an impromptu speech, the obviously I'm not gonna have the like the thought out message. I'm not gonna be able to convey it in a way I would if I took some time. Um, which is obviously important. The language, I'm gonna use very like basic language if it's just a quick question. Um, even if it was an extemporaneous speech, you can try and put a lot of like complex language in your speech, but at the end of the day, you're gonna forget. At least me, I'm not that great of a speaker. I don't have much experience, so I'd forget some of the language I'm using, and I wouldn't be able to have like my lines wouldn't have that same impact or that same like polish as it would in an essay. Especially word choice is really important, but just the flow, your ideas. I like being able to have like a very like structured message where you can get like one or two sentences to be perfect. They mean a lot. All the language is like it works perfectly, which in a speech I just couldn't do that quite well. I have a tendency to sort of like run on kind of basic terms, and so a lot of language is just filler or it doesn't have the same intention as it would in an essay. Also, it's a lot simpler. You don't have to worry about like body language if you're just reading an essay. Um, you don't have to worry about eye contact. So it's the focus is just purely on the message, which I like. It's just simple, easy. Yeah, I have a bad habit of like cluttering my speech, especially if it's an impromptu speech. So then again, like all the words might not be necessary. It's all kind of fluffy compared to like a very solid um essay. And on the downside of that, for like a speech, it is nice to have a like have your message be dynamic. You can change it if because if you're doing an essay, you don't know how it's going to be. Like you're just reading it to yourself probably. If you can, you read to someone else, it helps, but it's just not quite the same as going up in a speech, giving like a point, realizing it didn't quite come across right. The audience is maybe a little confused, and you can clarify while you're going. Um, which you just can't do with an essay, obviously. Um, but yeah, overall, they obviously have their ups and downs, pros and cons to both. But I just personally prefer reading, just because it's more intentional. It feels like.